Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of October, right through the end of November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? What do they need to know regarding their career and their money situation at this time? Can you please show them the way? Now, I don't know if you noticed, at first, the guide chimes, when they hovered over the money deck, which is right here, they went a little bit quiet. So perhaps, you're squirreling your money away, keeping quiet about how much you're earning at this time, maybe even kind of portioning off a secret stash that you're not to touch, or perhaps you're not going to talk about at this time. So that's something that just came out there that I noticed. But let's get to your energy and see what's going on for the next 6 weeks there for you. Thank you so much. Truly grateful. We have the moon energy. We have the temperance energy. So you're ruminating, reflecting on something. Perhaps you are leaning into your usual tasks and responsibilities, but also there is this desire to go off and do something independent at this time. A lot of you may already be doing that. There's this energy of duality there because you have the temperance card as well. So it can be that you're portioning up your time in order to encompass all the things that you do, all the tasks, the responsibilities. We've got the star energy there as well. Now, it's interesting because the moon is actually a hidden energy. So it can be that you are quietly working away behind the scenes on something that you are getting ready to illuminate, launch, or promote in some way there. Or it could be that you're organizing something that you will reveal when it is completed. So some of you may be giving, some sort of appraisal meeting, or you may actually be holding a conference or giving a presentation, or presenting something that you've been working on for quite some time. And I see that it's going to get raving reviews if that's you. A lot of you, if you work for a company, already I can see that there is some sort of appraisal going on here for you. And I feel there is this energy of you feeling a little bit uncertain about how things are going to go for you, but actually I see that very positive reviews coming on in there for you as well. But let's get to the rest of your energy, because of course not everybody works for a company. If you're independent, I already see that you may be launching something or revealing something. It may be something that complements what you do already. Could be second streams of income because you have this duality there. But I definitely see here that fortune favors the brave. Let's put it that way. There are some changes going on in your working environment over the next 6 weeks, and they are lucky breaks. They are transformations for the positive. We've got the Eight of Cups in the resistance position. So some of you may actually be thinking about whether you should leave a position right now, but you're waiting for the right chance or the right opportunity to walk away. And that Eight of Cups can indicate you're weighing up whether what you're doing at this moment in time is fulfilling, whether there's reciprocity. You may enjoy what you are doing right now, but there is this energy of like, have you hit a plateau? Are you reaching for more? Where are those opportunities for more? That's coming on in there as well. Strength card. Now the Strength card, of course, is a Leo card. So a lot of you, if you're not an independent worker, if you don't run your own business, or you're not your own boss, I feel a lot of you are working towards that in your future. But the Strength card indicates that you are dominating a working environment, or you're dominating your energy in order to really, lead. And I feel like you have a lot of power in a situation there. I feel like you're being noticed in some way or recognized for your greatness in your industry. And I got to get all the cards first before I even lock into the rest of your reading. But this is so positive that's coming out right now. Ten of Wands, yeah, you're super busy, you're exhausted, you have a lot of commitments right now. So I feel a lot of you could be overcommitted as well, or taking on extra work over the next coming weeks. I mean, the Eight of Cups, if you work for a company, could be a lot of people leaving an industry, or perhaps even being off. This could be that they are, out of the office if you work in an office, or it could be that they're on a vacation, or perhaps for some of you, it could be that there's just a bit of a skeleton service and you're having to pick up the extra slack there. Doesn't matter what industry you work in. It could be that you're taking on some extra responsibilities over the next coming weeks, but it actually sets you apart from everybody else, that you have the passion, you're driven, and yeah, you're going to be offered something that you absolutely love. King of Swords energy there, as well as the Magician. It's something you've been thinking about for some time. So for some of you, this could be a bonus or a promotion there that is talked about, but will be actioned later on, because we have that King of Swords, which is the strategy. It's the confirmation verbally that something's coming on in. I would say get everything in writing, always important. The Magician card is an indication that something will materialize there for you. So I feel it's connected to a structure. Now, I want to basically tap into the energy first of anyone who has come to this reading and you are currently looking for a role. If you are searching for a job and you haven't found one, I do see that some of you with that Moon energy, you're feeling a little bit uncertain, maybe a little bit worried there. You've been putting your resume out there for so many opportunities. Your search has been endless is what I've been given there. And the Ten of Wands is like, it's a lot. You're exhausted, you're fed up, you've tried everything. And the Wheel of Fortune is telling me that out of the blue, an opportunity is going to be offered, and it really is a dream job opportunity. That Knight of Cups indicates you following your heart, but, going into an environment, a job that you will absolutely love, that you will bloom in, and that you will actually elevate quite quickly. So if you are looking for a role, I do see one coming on in here for you. It's very structured. It almost feels like you have a lot of status in this role. So no matter the industry, I feel like you have some sort of title with that King of Swords energy. I feel there's two elements to it as well. It feels very much like you could be integrated with a team. So you could be very managerial. You connect to people. I mean, it doesn't mean that you work with other people. It can be that you're, communicating with lots of other people, or lots of different branches, or, there's a lot of connection there, but somehow it's still like a standalone position, or there's a lot of authority there. You feel at a distance in this role. I don't want to say that you're feared in this role, because I don't feel that you're someone who is feared in a role. I feel like you're someone who, is diplomatic. You're someone who leads with intention. You've got high focus. You are someone who is logical in this role, and you have a lot of smarts. You're very intelligent. This is very high IQ. You have the skill set, the knowledge to be in this role. You've achieved a lot, and I feel like you're establishing yourself quite quickly in this role as someone who has authoritative energy. You're dominating this role. So there could be a lot of people when you enter into this role that they want to get a measure of you first, because they don't know how to take you. You're very serious, you're very focused, very locked on. And, I feel you build good relations in this role. But at the same time, I mean, look, The lion is the lion, okay? And you are Leo. So this indicates that you are someone who has a lot of power in your situation. You know, you got the skill set, the talent, and you have gravitas. There's something about you that says, I'm here, I've arrived, and I am serious about my role. So people are going to be like a little bit hesitant in getting to know you at first. They're going to be welcoming. I want you to be aware of that, but you're here to lead. Okay, and whilst you are going to do a great job at doing that, I feel like you will build relationships as you go, but you're there to be serious and structure a role that perhaps has not been structured in the past. Okay, so that's something, you're going to love it. You're really going to bloom and blossom where you're planted there. And the Magician card, I would say a lot of you in this role, whatever it is, again, doesn't matter the industry, I feel like you may be elevated or promoted quite quickly in this role to a new position because you're so good at what you do, okay? And I'm not blowing smoke up here, you know what. I'm seeing the energy. You're going from a Knight of Cups to a King of Swords. This tells me that you're going to love what you're doing, but at the same time, you're stepping up. There's some sort of new status there, okay? So, yeah, if you're looking for a role, you're going to be standing out there, and it's like a dream job opportunity. It's something you've aligned yourself with, and you're so gifted. Remember, when you go for this interview, you're actually going to walk away not really knowing how the interview went, because these two cards are in the resistance position, and it just gives a hesitancy. But remember, you're in the room for this interview for a reason. They already love your resume. They already realize that they found the right candidate. Now they just need to connect to your energy, see if you are someone who is up to the challenge, whether your personality matches the environment. And I feel like, you know, you're all in. It's happening. You'll be signing contracts with that King of Swords, okay? So I do see a role coming on in. Now, for the rest of you, you know, I see there are some changes going on in your working environment. A lot of you are really thinking about, you know, duality, second streams of income, or maybe even some sort of temporary work, seasonal work. You may be doing something as a sideline, a side hustle, as it were, just to bring in some extra cash. If that's you and you're looking for alternative roles there, I do see there's one coming in that you really, really love. And you may actually see it as something that is going to be temporary, but you love it so much, you may actually be able to negotiate hours where you can continue it on a part-time basis. Okay, that's something that's coming on in, and they love you so much they want to keep you, so that's coming there as well. But the moon is often a protagonist energy in this position. It's often an energy of you having an untapped talent when it is connected to the Magician card. You know, the moon is a hidden energy, so I feel this is about you really contemplating and reflecting on your gifts, your skill set, and wanting to hone a certain area of your skill set right now. And for some of you, because the dog and the wolf are on the moon card, the dog is comfort, okay? It is companionship, it is familiarity, as it were, locking into a long-term contract, or, you know, knowing where you're at with your bills. And of course, the wolf is a little bit more exploratory. It is kind of like, let's go off and be independent. So a lot of you have so much knowledge right now that even if you decide to stay in the role that you're in, whatever that may be, it can be that you're thinking about doing something on the side, like either write a handbook or a manual of how to do what you do. You know, you could be a leading professional in some area of expertise, and you're writing it all down so that you can formulate something that can bring in passive income, like a course of learning online of how to do what you do, or perhaps a book on your journey through the industry that you work in, because you have something to say here. So this could be a second stream of income there for you, something that's independent, but also it doesn't have to be you writing something down or using your knowledge to inform others. It can be that, you know, there is something you're interested in, that you have a talent in that hasn't really been fostered yet, and you're thinking about this second stream of income or this alternative path, okay? So a lot of you, if you're, you know, not an independent worker at this moment in time, you may be formulating a plan right now to become your own boss. You may be structuring it, getting everything together. You know, King of Swords is a structure, a legal structure at that. It means you're serious. It means that you are strategizing. There's a lot of analysis. You know, I feel like you're deep in your plans right now. Whoever you are, whether you work for yourself or whether you know, work for a company or whether you're looking for a role, I feel like you are, deep in strategy mode, analyzing your next steps and getting everything in order, getting clear on your next steps, on how you should proceed on something. Now, of course, if you work for yourself, I feel a lot of you could be branching out or evolving some sort of idea or plan that you've been ruminating on for some time. So this could be you having international leanings, because the King of Swords is very international energy. It could be overseas commitments or perhaps connections there. This could also be some sort of second stream of income from a different currency is what I'm being given there. Not everyone's going to have that, but that's very unique. Please take it as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, don't try to force it. Doesn't mean the reading's not for you. It just means that portion that popped out, because I read energy that pops out, and of course what the cards mean there as well. But whoever you are, the Wheel of Fortune, the universe backs your path. This is sudden movement, improvement. This is a sporadic moment of good fortune. So I would say things are changing for the positive. And some of you may feel that your industry has been going through some challenging changes. If you work for yourself, you may feel very uncertain about the path, and there's rules and regulations changing, and you're not sure how it's going to affect you. But actually, I feel it sets you up to streamline your energy, and it will work in your favor once you get to grips with new practices or new forms or whatever it is that you need to fill in there. The Wheel of Fortune, you're the sort of person, my beautiful Leo, you make your own luck, okay? But I feel this is a card that highlights that this month or the next 6 weeks, there's a need to be flexible, because there's going to be some ups and downs. And what I mean by that is you're going to be maintaining and sustaining what you do already, but there may be some nice surprises that come along for you to really act upon, and you may have to act quite quickly on these. I feel like you're prepared, you're ready for this pace is what I'm seeing there. But I would say that you're doing it all right now, and I feel there's some good fortune headed your way, but it's based on your hard work. Now, of course, the Wheel of Fortune with the moon, I would just say be a little bit mindful, especially if you run your own business. There could be some sort of expiry date or contract or some sort of deadline that is looming, and the moon energy can indicate that it's not clear at first, or that you're not aware of this change, this shift, or this deadline. So if you run your own business, just check up online about the country that you work in, the rules, regulations, things that are changing. There may be some sort of, rule, regulation, or something you have to fill in, or there's a deadline there that you have to acknowledge, because I feel like you get it in good time. But the 10 of Wands tells me that it could be a bit of a rush, like to fit everything in. It's like suddenly it's thrust upon you. For some of you, this could also be like, even if you work in a company or whatever industry, this 10 of Wands could be that, you are clearing down your workload basically, and it just feels like things are building up, but there may be a certain deadline, so you may have to put some of your work to the side and return to it at a later date so that you can focus on something that is a priority at this time. Because I feel with that Wheel of Fortune, something's subject to change, okay? So I want you to be aware, and it feels very much like in a moment's notice, it's changing, okay? But there's a lot of optimism for you this next couple of weeks there. Also, this card can indicate that you're working at optimum levels, okay? And that you're being noticed, you're making your own luck, but actually I feel like you're breaking a pattern or a cycle repeat, and you may be trialing something new, or you're very explorative at this time in order to keep your financial structure. So some of you may be thinking of new money, new ways to make money, but because we have the Wheel of Fortune and the moon with the 10 of Wands, a lot of you, the next 6 weeks is all about habit formation and really kind of, working as usual. You're working really hard, okay? 10 of Wands, a lot of you, as I mentioned, are exhausted. You have a lot on your mind, a lot on your to-do list, but a lot of you could be very interested in rolling contracts, expiry dates. I would say administrative tasks. You're staying on top of your correspondence with that King of Swords there as well. But also I feel, spreadsheets, invoices, statements, some of you, this could be the end of your tax year if you're an independent worker. So that means you have to do what you normally do, but at the same time, look at your financial year in order to do a tax return, for example. So it could be that it's like double the work at this time. So I feel like you're going to get everything done in time there. A lot of you may even outsource a way of like calculating, because a lot of you are calculating at this time, so you could outsource to an accountant or an advisor in some way in order to get it all finalized, just to free up some time so you can be more creative and just do what you normally do there. Now, Ten of Wands indicates you're a very strong person. It does indicate a lot of you maybe holding it all together or holding the fort, extra responsibilities there. But I feel like a lot of you are kind of limiting distractions. So I see that moon energy of you kind of like being a little bit like operating under the radar for a bit to limit distractions because you do have a lot on. Ten of Wands tells me you're very passionate about what you're doing. Yes, you're overcommitted because you care about what you're doing, but also I feel like you're just diligently taking down your workload there. And I feel you may be also observing your performance in something that's developing. So whether that's an idea, whether that's you at work, or whether that's you looking for alternative opportunities, I feel like you're keeping your eyes peeled and you're also focused on your goals there. A lot of you are looking at the details of what you do right now in order to transform. And this could be, some of you are utilizing new technology, because King of Swords there connects to the air, the ether. So it could be new apps, new technology, new software programs, new hardware programs, or something, maybe even a filing system that helps you run your day-to-day tasks and responsibilities in a more time-efficient way. So yes, you've got a lot on, but it could be that some of you may release an outdated program or an outdated app or something that's just not conducive to you being in harmony with your work, and you're finding a better way to do whatever it is that you do. Now, we do have the Temperance energy, and this is in the resistance position at first. So some of you, there is this energy of you questioning, because you may be in a position right now where you feel like you've come as far as you can with that Ten of Wands in the role that you're in. So whether you work for yourself, you do everything all by yourself. If you work for yourself, you work 24/7 and you do all the heavy lifting yourself. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there if that's you. But also if you are in a role and you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling in some way and you feel that things are out of balance, that you do more than you're offered back in return financially. A lot of you, especially since we've just had, Venus move into the Libra season energy, this is all about you looking at reciprocity, making sure that the effort that you put in, there should be, an equitable amount coming back out there. So a lot of you with that Temperance card, you may be looking for alternative opportunities, but really questioning like, okay, am I being impatient, wanting more, or, should I wait it out? Should I wait until the end of the year? For some of you with that Ten of Wands, you're waiting it out to the end of the year, especially if you work for a company and they offer rewards or bonuses there. I see a lot of you like waiting it out, blooming where you're planted, and seeing what opportunities lay ahead there for you, and whether you want to cut and run after that. Okay, so it could be that you're playing your cards really close to your chest at this time. And if you are someone who's an independent worker, this could be that you need to find a way to balance out your workload because you're doing so much. If you have an opportunity to outsource, or you have an opportunity to utilize a service that can make your working environment more efficient and, give yourself a little bit of ease there, then you may actually explore it or look at the legalities of finding that out. For example, like an online PA, personal assistant there, or perhaps, as I said, an accountant, or perhaps it's some sort of filing system or some way of documenting what you do. There could be an easier way, and you will discover it. The knowledge that you seek will come to you in the next couple of weeks is what I'm seeing there. Now, the Temperance card, of course, is all about your sense of purpose. So I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of like following your sense of purpose and your kind of like life's purpose. You have a passion, you're gifted at what you do. I mean, when you get the Magician card, especially with the Knight of Cups, it means it's very important that you love what you do because you're so gifted at it. So it's really important that you follow your heart and Some of you may be trying to blend your energies. So if you have a passion in life, for some of you, whether it's creative in nature, it could be that you're taking something that gives structure and form to your finances, but at the same time you go off and do your passions. So for example, if you're a performer, creative, and you're trying to make your way, it could be that you're doing something that is structured, but suddenly out of the blue, there is an opportunity coming on in your preferred career, your passion. That's what I'm seeing. Doesn't matter what you do, but I feel there is an opportunity out of the blue connected to your preferred passion, and there's a lot of success here. This is you being thrust into the spotlight or the limelight to be recognized. You know, this is you being successful. This is you kind of having clarity that you're doing a great job. This is an acknowledgement that you are seen for your skill set, that you are appreciated for what you do, and that your talent is seen as well. So I feel there are people in positions of authority right now noticing what you do. And if you are an independent worker, sometimes it's really hard. You're like, you know what? I'm out there on a limb. I'm doing it all by myself. There's an energy here, especially with that moon energy. It's like, you're trying to change your own luck. You're scared. You don't have the information. You're putting one foot in front of the other. You're trying to find your way, and you're just moving through. But you're going to be very successful because you are bold and daring, and fortune favors the brave. You have the card of courage right there. That means that fortune is favoring you right now. So I would say there is an opportunity popping out of the blue here, but you work so hard for this, so you totally deserve it. You don't need me to tell you that. But the Eight of Cups, it's in the resistance position. So I do see a lot of you on a personal level returning to projects that you had to sideline for a while, but also I see some of you returning to something that is like a hidden talent or something that hasn't been nurtured there, or this could be you returning to an industry that you once loved doing. Could have been put on hold for a while, something that was your sense of purpose, but perhaps you needed to get structure or order into your life, but you return to it because you love it. Also, the Eight of Cups is an energy, when it goes into the upright, of a restart. So some of you could be restarting an idea that you felt, you know, it lost its direction in some way, or you feel that you couldn't like factor it in to what you do already. You've kind of like put it on hold for a little while. You may return to this and run with it in the next 6 weeks there as well. Eight of Cups is also a restart. So if you are looking for a job, there's a restart energy right here. Some of you may have been out of the working environment due to personal circumstances, or you may have, you know, just given birth. If that's you, congratulations. You know, it can be that you are returning to work after a period of time, and there's some changes that have gone on, but I feel like you really like take to it like a duck to water. You just get back in the flow there as well. Now we have the Nine of Cups. You know, initially it's in the resistance position. When it's connected to the Temperance card, this can be that whatever you do, there is no fast track. You're aware of that. You're in it for the long haul. You know, this is a card that you realize that your industry and your success is a marathon rather than a sprint. But there are going to be opportunities that pop up for you over the next couple of weeks that you're going to celebrate. I have to be honest with you though, I see a lot of the next 6 weeks as you building on what you're doing already, strategizing, planning, maybe launching for some of you, really being seen. So if you work for yourself, this could be a period of promoting your work, marketing, getting yourself out there, having some sort of social media presence with that King of Swords there. Because we have duality cards there as well, some of you could be like partnering up with social media platforms in order to get your message out there or reach a wider audience or environment. Because whatever you do, I see that you're being seen, you're being appreciated, and there is an opportunity to branch out or expand your reach, shall we say. And the Nine of Cups, especially in this position, it indicates a period of reflection, of looking at where you feel you're not fulfilled in your industry so that you can find the missing ingredient, or that you can factor in new knowledge, or even put yourself in a course of learning in order to fill a gap, as it were. So some of you are kind of like doing a bit of a deep dive over the next coming weeks in order to like work out how to expand on what you're doing already. For some of you, this could be like you're learning language skills in order to formulate a plan to either migrate your business overseas or do business overseas. For some of you, this could be that you're learning structures of how to run a certain business in a certain industry. Could also be that you're upskilling at this time, but I feel a lot of you are returning to curiosity and learning more about your skill set or upskilling. Also, the Nine of Cups will go into the upright, and I love that the two have actually showed up together, because the Eight of Cups, whoever walks away on the Eight of Cups walks straight into the Nine of Cups. Sometimes when you do, a self-evaluation period, you really reflect on where you're happy in your industry and in your roles and how you can proceed with that, and where you feel like there's missing ingredients or where you feel like you're unhappy, and suddenly you get a moment of clarity. And when you decide to change, or when you're open to change, when you tell the universe, you know what, I'm leaving it up to fate. I've been ruminating for some time on an opportunity that I really want, but it hasn't come in. When you put one foot in front of the other, the universe says, okay, here's the opportunity. Here's the opportunity to change. It's sudden. It happens. And then it could be that for some of you, not all of you, but some of you could be walking away from something in order to embrace this dream job opportunity. But I also see a lot of you with this energy. It could be that there is a change in style, a change in direction, or a change in thought, because you have that King of Swords. For some of you, it could be a change in practice, as it were, of something that you normally do. Can be that you're adjusting, because you have a lot of adjustment cards here. You're adjusting the way that you work so that you can be more balanced, so that it can be more fair, so that you can take a breath. That's what I'm seeing here, because Temperance card is like, let's be a little bit more measured, because it feels like right now the balance has been tipped and you're overworked, okay? And you may feel unappreciated. You may feel that, you're kind of questioning your direction at this moment in time with that Eight of Cups, because sometimes we question our direction when we're feeling overwhelmed. So I feel a lot of you are sorting through some stuff right now, okay? Now, you don't have any pentacles here. Doesn't mean you're not focused on your finances, because of course you are. The star energy could indicate a lot of you are healing your finances, but also this can be that you are shining a spotlight on your finances. And with that King of Swords, you may be stricter with, spending. This is an energy of you kind of setting yourself realistic goals when it comes to your finances and aligning with what's important to spend on and saving. Because I feel a lot of you are portioning off money. So this could be that you're portioning off money for a certain period later on down the line in the year. For example, that's something that's coming out there as well. I mean, the star energy, when it comes to money, it means your hopes and dreams and wishes are starting to align to, create a better future for yourself. I feel there's a lot to look forward to in your future. So if you work for a company, I feel a lot of you could be in talks right now to enter into a leadership position or be offered something that is very beneficial for you, or you can double down on and grow. Okay, so this could be a bonus, even though there's no pentacles there. I'm going to pull a card just to see if we can get some pentacle energy for you and see potentially what's going on there. I mean, a lot of you, the next couple of weeks is more about where you feel happy in your environment. I feel, yep, you may be looking at signing papers. I mean, on a personal level, you're looking at cutting out anything that perhaps has been a rolling contract that you do not utilize as a service. I feel like you're refining your life in some way. Six of Swords, you're protected. And Six of Wands, I mean, double six. That's amazing. I mean, I'm seeing dice in the water right now as well. So this could be that, fate intervenes and brings you an opportunity. A lot of you could be migrating your skill set into a different arena, a different project, a different environment, or even a different role. So we got that Six of Wands, which is success. I mean, I was talking about money. We didn't get any pentacles there, but I feel like this is about you either winning something with that Six of Wands or, having a victory coming on in. For a lot of you, it could be fame, fortune, stepping into the limelight, or having a glow up in your industry, going viral on social media if you're an influencer, because it is an influencer card there. Six of Swords indicates you may be learning more about protecting your finances. Some of you may even be like thinking about structures where you look at the best country to run your business from, or financially look at the best, way to utilize your finances in a company structure, for example. I mean, double six is balance, right? So this can be that this month, financially, things are on an even keel. But I do see a lot of you like taking down debt as usual and paying close attention to your responsibilities and your commitments financially. And for some of you, there may be like a complete payoff on one thing that you had a higher purchase on. I see that for some of you, not all of you, of course. A lot of it's ongoing because of that Wheel of Fortune, which is cycles energy. But I feel with that Six of Swords energy, a lot of you are looking at protecting your finances through certain structures. I mean, Six of Swords can indicate if you've been going through a bit of a test financially, you've been feeling the pinch. Six of Swords means you're protected. You know that those brighter times ahead, you've been going through a bit of a transition period. And of course, you've been trying to stay on top of things, creating balance there with your finances, but you're going to be really proud of yourself because there is something to celebrate coming on in. You achieve a goal. I mean, Six of Wands is always a promotion. For some of you, this could also be a qualification that helps you enter into a new pay grade. So Six of Swords is like you've been experiencing certain amounts of money, but you're on to more. You know, I feel like you're moving towards more, or you're building something for your future that will bring in more, okay? Now we've got that Strength card. That, of course, is about being bold and daring, and it's about having all the resources within you to make the next couple of weeks work there. Strength card indicates, of course, that you're honoring your needs and recognizing that actually you're very gifted and very talented, and that you are set apart in the industry in some way that you work in. It's like you go above and beyond, okay? And that puts you in a position of strength and power. When you know all the inner workings of an industry, it means you are someone who is incredibly powerful indeed. You know, it could be that you're opening yourself up to different sectors. When you do one thing all the time, as I said, it gets out of balance. So you could be learning new things, or you could be learning different aspects of an industry that you work in, and it really helps you kind of encompass the whole aspect, and you become someone who is really valuable in your industry, because I see whatever you do, you're an asset looking at these energies. King of Swords on a very mundane level indicates that you're structured, you're focused, you're disciplined with your time, you're organized, and I feel like you are looking at time management, limiting distractions, and calculating the next steps. It just feels like you're weighing up your finances, you're weighing up your plans, you're judging something, you're analyzing something, and you're being really rational with it, and you're getting clarity. This is a card of power. It means you're a pro at what you do, and you will be recognized for that, okay? So I feel a lot of productivity going on here, but we've got this Knight of Cups energy, okay? Knight of Cups is about loving what you do, but also it is about attracting something that you're going to celebrate. This is an opportunity to be offered, well, I'm being given, first off, praise. So this could be like if you work for yourself, you're an independent worker, it could be a client who's normally very strict or very austere. They give you high praise indeed, and word of mouth actually expands your reach when it comes to your business. Could also be a tip, commission, bonus, raise, something on those lines. Could even be like a gift, a token of appreciation there coming on in. But the Knight of Cups, if you really look at it, the Knight, they tend to be in suits of armor, so it means you've been through a very tough time in your working environment. You have been holding it all together, but the rose is about to be planted, and it is in bloom, and it will continue to bloom, even though there's austere environments. Economically, the world is very challenged right now. It's trying to find its way back to some sort of even keel. It's a long way back to that. I gotta tell you that. You don't need me to tell you that, of course. But I feel like this is you thriving in very challenging environments. Now, of course, pay close attention to stress levels, keeping things balanced and harmonized. A lot of you with that Temperance energy, you may be walking away from anyone who is putting extra pressure on you. You know what you need to do. You don't need anyone to pressurize you into it. But also you may be looking at healthcare practices in the working environment, making sure that you do not run yourself into bad health or allow stress to overwhelm you, because the Ten of Wands can be a highly stressful card. And the Temperance card is saying, look, have an even keel, because, you know, you are making a lot of headway in your industry. And even if you feel it's slow progress, it's still progress. Don't put pressure on yourself. The universe is actually going to send opportunity towards you. And sometimes when we're forging away. We're pushing on through. We crush the energy. Sometimes we have to take action, then sit back and allow the universe. Remember, it is a law of balance. So as soon as you push on through, strategize, set something up or launch something or take a step, the universe will take 10 steps towards you and help you like make things work on your terms there. Now, the Magician card is a major arcana card, and actually you have two majors at the end of the month. I mean, you've got an overarching energy, which is a major. These are big deal cards, which means something big, I would say, at the end of November is happening for you, okay? I can't believe we're nearly at the end of the year there, but the Magician card indicates infinite potential, but it also indicates that, you know, you're creating something new or you're manifesting something new there. You're connected. Everything is in balance. You'll have it all, okay? The Magician works with all the energies. So the swords are all about ideas, the mind, formulating a plan, strategizing, calculating. The wands are all about passion, being driven, ambition, the energy. You've got it all. Then you've got the water, which is the dream, the vision, and how you feel. And then you've got the pentacles, which is about the plan, the blueprint, you know, the effort, nurturing, care, devotion, and of course, the money, the pentacles that come out there. So I feel this is about you looking at different aspects of your industry and making sure it complements each other as a whole. That you're doing so much that, of course, everything needs to be reciprocal in some way. I also see a lot of you, there's a hobby or something here, maybe a side hustle that you launch and it is going to be like wildly successful. That's coming through there as well, okay? Is there anything more? I'm going to get some final cards because I feel a lot of you, this is about communicating your needs in the working environment, having them met. Some of you may be negotiating new terms. For some of you, if you work for a company, there may be a merge, okay? And there may be someone who is a figurehead who is walking away, and it leaves a new position for someone new to step on in, but it also opens up an opportunity for you to have a reshuffle in your working environment and a promotion to be offered there as well. It's almost like the gatekeeper is leaving there, so there could be a merge. If you're signing any new contracts, remember that everything else that went before that, even if you've worked for a company for years and years and years, it will be nullified. You start on the new contract date. So make sure, you know, you negotiate the right terms and conditions for yourself there. But I see some lucky breaks. And it's almost like I do not see you celebrating just yet because you're like, okay, there's a monumental shift. This looks good. But I feel like you are moving through this, building upon it. And I feel there is some sort of routine to remain on track. And only when everything is done can you celebrate, if that makes sense, okay? I just feel a lot of you, there's a review period as well. There is something better. Yes, there is something better. We've got patience. As I said, some of you are wondering, am I being impatient for wanting more? Absolutely not. You're gifted and talented. There needs to be a reflection of everything that you're doing, but I feel things are working behind the scenes. When you have the moon energy, it means something you cannot see just yet is being formulated by the universe, an opportunity that when it is ripe, it will be revealed with that star energy. And we also have teacher. I did mention some of you, you know, you've got the smarts, you've got the talent, you've got the gifts. You could actually teach what you do. You could still do what you're doing, but it could be that you have a course that you create and then people download it from online and it becomes passive income. You only have to create it once and then people download it. Same as a book, for example, or a manual. For some of you, this could also be that you're called to train someone in what you do over the next coming... Oh, I got to get that card because it flew over there. Yeah, you could be training someone to do what you do. I mean, if you work for yourself, it's unusual for you to be training someone to do what you do. You would probably be doing it all yourself, trying to get ahead of yourself, which I do see happening there. Looking at the energy, I mean, some of you may be contemplating a plan to go on a vacation or take a quick break. And it almost feels like you're trying to get ahead of yourself and do more than you usually do so you can take a break. And, you know, I sympathize with you there. You're going to have a wonderful time away if that's you. And you are going to get all of the work done so that you can have a decent break and heal. A lot of you need a rest. That's coming through there very strongly as well. I'm just going to go and get that card. But I do want you to be aware that if you are taking a quick break there in November, I feel a lot of you are going to love if you're training someone to do what you do whilst you're away, you're going to love what they attempt to do, but they miss some things because you're a little bit more about the attention to detail. So I feel like you kind of forgive the fact that they miss it, but it highlights even more how, like, you're not replaceable because you're so good at what you do. Okay, so that's coming through. I'm just going to go get that card. One moment, please. Sorry about that, my beautiful Leo. So we have the temporary card come out there. So as I said, some of you are thinking about temporary work or doing something that feels almost like a trial, or it feels like you're just going to explore it and see, but you love it so much that you expand on it, okay, or you stay in it, or they love you and they want you to stay. So we've got there is something better. Okay, and I definitely see that because you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about good luck. And even in a new deck, you have, where is it? The good luck card right there. Okay, so yeah, this is a very lucky next couple of weeks. Some surprises coming on in there for you, but I feel like you're ready for the success. You've been formulating a plan and being ready, being prepared for this moment for a long time. But I also see skill development here as well, refining the details or your goals to set specific milestones to reach like achievable kind of pinnacle points. It's like you're compartmentalizing things. And we've got patience there, so you're nurturing something. And as you can see, this figure is having quiet time. A lot of you may be limiting distractions. You're also trying to find peace in the working environment. I mean, it says here, money can be slow in coming in, but if you're unsatisfied with your finances, you may be trialing something new. It also says here, you may feel tired and out of balance. The universe is forcing you to take a break, rest and recover there as well. But also divine timing is at hand, and it requires you to have faith while you are shown the way. And you have that Wheel of Fortune, which means, you know, you are subject to divine timing at this moment. We've also got teacher there. So I really feel you have a lot of knowledge that you could teach others. Maybe some of you are actually a teacher and you're planning the next kind of like module. For some of you, you may be taught at this time new knowledge and getting a qualification, certification that just breaks open a whole new financial pay grade for you there. But it says you've learned so much about money, it's time to put it into practice. A lot of you are thinking about financial structures in order to protect your finances or lean into generational wealth structures. You know, that sort of knowledge is not available to every person, okay? You have to go seeking that knowledge or searching a little bit deeper, or even find people who can give advice on how to structure that sort of formation. So a lot of you could be learning about it right now and then actually legally getting someone to structure for you there. But it says consider careers in either coaching, mentorship, motivational speaker. You know, I really feel like you have something to say in your industry. If you're going for an interview, if you're going and giving a presentation, or you've got some sort of audition or some sort of meeting, I really feel like you're going to breeze it. You're going to really leave a lasting impression in the room. And you win the room, I just heard. Also, it says you have the ability to motivate others to strive and uncover their true potential. I feel like you've been there, done that. You've got so much knowledge. You could literally help others now as well. And that could be second streams of income. Hidden wealth. I feel a lot of you, this is connected to a hidden talent. So this is some sort of skill that you have that you could tap into and bring in more finances. But, you know, the wealth is knowledge. It's in you. And I feel it's not just about finances, but it's about how you feel about your industry. But it says true riches are not just what you see, but what you feel. Yes, I just said that. Unlock treasures within. Yes, I feel a lot of you are, as I said, reflecting at this time. And I even felt that energy just with your overarching energy there as well. Good luck. So yes, there is some sort of wish or alignment coming on in here for you. I mean, to have the Wheel of Fortune, the star, and even another card that says good luck. This is an omen. It says everything you touch blooms and thrives like magic. I mean, you've even got the bloom card right there. Changing fortunes. So I would say fortune favors your bold, brave approach there, and you are going to be blossoming in your industry. And finally, we got temporary. I mean, every industry changes, and I feel like you're navigating these changes. You're being very flexible. I did mention at the beginning being flexible there, but it says you may have many jobs. I mean, it was in the energy, so whoever I'm picking up on right now, this could be something you're contemplating, but it could also be something you're actually doing right now, wearing many hats in your industry, and you're like, I should be paid for that. So if you feel like you're not being paid for that, it's time to either diplomatically ask for a pay rise or find a way to make sure you do get paid for it. So it says here, money comes and goes. I did mention that it's kind of an energy where you're maintaining and sustaining finances over the next coming weeks. You're paying down debt. You're focused on your repayment plans. I mean, a lot of you, it's interesting because the Ten of Wands, it can be that you're thinking about retirement or you're thinking about the end of a working environment and it's hard. You may be like, whoa, it's way off there. Still got a ways to go just yet. But you could be formulating a plan for your retirement. And if you are retired, a lot of you are being stricter with your finances because you're being savvy. I don't see anything here that's negative for you to be worried about, but it's not going to stop you from worrying about like being structured with your finances. I actually see some of you may get a small increase there with your pension pot, or looking at the energy, I feel there could be something that you love doing that is creative in nature, and someone may want to purchase it or may say to you, wow, you're creating this in your retirement. Have you ever thought about like putting it out there and just selling it? So you're like semi-retired, and this could be something that you may gravitate towards if you're wanting more money. But if you're content with what you have, I feel like you're really structured, you're very clever, and I feel like you have infinite resources. And you may be looking into, though, like trusts, structures, holding companies, things like that, in order to protect your finances so that you can, pass it on to the next generation, for example. I just feel like this is really savvy, and it's the energy that's coming out right now for you to think about your acquisitions and how you can structure them in a way that protects the wealth for you and your family and generations to come. So this could be something that's on your mind right now, and I feel don't let it overwhelm you, because I feel like you're doing the right thing and you're getting the knowledge, and I feel you're heading in the right direction to conserve your finances and utilize them in the best way possible. Okay, so a lot going on there. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay. Oh yeah. So we've got a ring there. So this is all about your commitments when it comes to finances. Also, the gem in the center means you've been under a lot of pressure. Maybe the working environment has shaped you because you're under pressure, but you are shining bright. You are someone who is really valuable in your industry, and make sure that there is reciprocity in what you're getting back for what you are doing right now. Also, I feel all the hard work is going to come full circle for you. And a lot of you, this could be second streams of income, commitments. Some of you may even think about partnership. This could be partnership with a social media platform or with a company or someone you really admire in your industry. Could even be your partner, because there's duality here. You could be doing something that is kind of like structured with a contract that is not connected to something independent. And you could set up something independent with a partner, for example. So I feel in terms of personal, some of you are working really hard trying to get ahead of yourself. Maybe you're getting married or you're going off on a honeymoon, for example. So there could be something personal that you're going to, and you're trying to get everything done all at once before you take this break. But I feel like you're going to have a monumental time whilst you're away. And I feel whatever it is that you are working towards right now, yes, you've been under pressure, because the Ten of Wands tells me, and whenever you get a diamond, I mean, it's not a real diamond, but it's representative of one, it means that, you are chipping away at something that is going to be very valuable indeed for your future. And just allow yourself to shine and remember your value, because it's important. You're valuable, you're talented, and you have a skill set that is unique to you. And remember that when you are leveling up in your career, your industry, and your finances, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Leo. Thank you so much, and love and light.